guys, and welcome on a new Coach Dev Academy Lab Guide. I'm Corentin Guinez, driver for Simmercy, and today we are here for the week 6 of the Falcon Sports Car Series. We are around Imola with the Porsche 718 GT4. As usual, first we're gonna go with the hot lap, and then we're gonna go together about the details about the combo. So yep, let's get started. Alright guys, here we go for the lap around Imola with the Porsche. So here is the start finish line, so very long straight actually. So then here comes T1. So what I'm doing is that I'm putting straight away the car to the right side, just looking at the exit road on the right, which is the braking point. So as you can see, trying to put the car as close as I can from the right side, but at the same time need to keep a bit of a margin because I need to brake straight. So if I basically face too much this way, then when I go on the ABS I will just almost like go on the grass and just crash. So yeah, I need to, when I'm getting close of the exit road, then put the car a little bit to the left and then face on the braking this way. Then as you can see, big braking zone, braking a lot, trying to make sure I can avoid the ABS because at the same time, as you can see, I'm still keeping a bit of steering angle. So by avoiding the ABS, I can make sure that I can still get that bit of rotation all the way during the braking. So as you can see on the brake, trying to stay away from the ABS, and then when I'm getting close of the corner, really trying to release the brake, turning in, trying to find the rotation on the brake. Then I'm not getting the first sausage. Sometimes I take the sausage, sometimes I don't. For me, not taking the sausage sometimes help you to actually make it consistent because sometimes it can bounce away. That then it makes you difficult to really get the properly the ones from the exit of the chicane. So yeah, sometimes I just prefer to avoid it so then I can really make the chicane consistent. So yeah, it's pretty much up to you, I guess. But yeah, sometimes, most of the time, I mean, I just avoid the first sausage. Then as you can see, when I'm really getting into the first part of the chicane, the first left-hander, just going early on power, trying to carry the momentum for the exit of the chicane, and then I'm just getting the sausage on the right one. Actually, this one doesn't feel too bad. Actually, it doesn't make the car bounce that much, I would say, off the curb. So yeah, as you can see, taking just the edge of it. Maybe you could take a bit more, but yeah, that's the way I took it this time to make the lap. So yeah, I guess you can get it no matter what. Just make sure you are not getting too deep on the sausage, because then I guess it can hurt the car first, and then you can get maybe an off track or slow down. So just make sure you're not too greedy if you take the sausage. Then the main target is to not get sent too wide on this one, because then you have the left-hander which comes pretty quickly after. So as you can see, then just trying to bring back a little bit the car to the right. And then for the left one, I will just go over the sausage. You don't get enough track for doing that. So yeah, just make sure you can cut the sausage. Then you just stay flat out. The main target to why I'm getting the sausage on the left side of this one is because I don't want to exit too wide out of this this fast left one. If I avoid the sausage, most of the time I will end up driving on the curbing and the astroturf on the right side, and sometimes I lose time most of the time because I put more steering to the left, which means I lose momentum. So that's why I'm cutting this left one. It's not a big thing, but this is actually can make some time, almost 1/10. So yeah, important to cut it, and then it's just a smooth pass through this sector, I would say. Then we will approach the second chicane. So for this one, just looking at the 50 on the right side, and then when it's the 50 is getting past almost the center screen, or at least it gets past your own vision, I would say. Then you just start to release the throttle, go on the brake. Just need to make sure you're really smooth on the brake, because you really need to keep the momentum at the same time. Need to make sure you don't hit the ABS, so then you can really get the rotation all the way, and just make sure that you are not upsetting the car and lose the balance. So as you can see, then just getting past the 50, going on the brake, just trying to make it smooth on the brake, just trying to be really kind on the brakes when I'm releasing the brakes. And then when as you can see, just cutting a little bit of the curbing on the inside. Just make sure you are not cutting too much, because then you can get an off track. So I guess if you keep it safe and just cut the half of this sausage of this one, then you should be all clear of any penalties, I guess. Then as you can see, when I'm getting on the curb, I'm still on the brake, but then when I'm going off the curb, I'm just going off the brake. And then when the car is back on the track and the car is getting for it's maybe half a second or something, putting more braking, the car is straight, so I can push a bit more on the brake, but then I need to quickly release the brake. So as you can see, just releasing the brake, just trying to make sure I can make this right one. This one is pretty difficult, because most of the time you tend to have too much speed and then you just understeer. So it's really important to really make the things right with the braking just before entering this right one. So that's why at the same time it's really important to bring the car back straight when you land from the first curb, so then you can really slow down the car again, and then make sure you can really get it properly at this right one. Then as you can see, just before basically entering into the corner, just going back on power to find the rotation and get the momentum. As you can see, I'm being really aggressive on the curb as well. So that's why it's important to really not arrive with too much speed, because if you arrive with too much speed, then the fact that you arrive with a lot of speed will make the car fly into the air a bit more, I would say, and then you will basically lose time on the ground, and then you will not have this grip to actually make it without getting the off track on the exit and stay into the track limits, which are the curb. Actually, if you leave the four wheels off the curb, you will get the off track. So yeah, very important to actually make this one this right one properly, because you can make a lot of time, but at the same time you can lose as well a lot of time. So yeah, very important to make the things right and not compromise this one. Then we have seen the exit, just stay with the right wheels on the curb. Then for Tosa, you need to move to the right side of the track, looking at the 50 board, but at the same time you can look at the end of the exit road. That's what I'm looking at for the braking reference, and as well the turning in reference. So as you can see, when I'm getting past the 50 and getting close of the exit road, just going on the brake, and then a straightaway dive into the corner. So as you can see, dropping to second, I stay on the brake, release the brake to find the rotation, and then when I'm really into the corner, just going back on power to find the rotation, and also because I need to find the momentum as well. as you can see, it goes uphill after that. So yeah, it's very important to find the momentum. As you can see, I'm not really going too early into the corner because I really want to have a sort of late apex, so then I can really open the steering on the exit. It's very important because, like I said, it goes uphill, so you really need to find the speed early on. And to find the speed early on, the best thing is to, for me, for Tosa, have a late apex, so then you can really open the steering on the exit and put the power down, almost full power very early on. So yeah, for me, that's the best thing to do for Tosa. So once again, sort of late apex, a lot of steering angle when I'm on the apex, but then I can quickly open the steering. As you can see, from now the steering is open and I'm not even, I can't even watch the exit, so it's pretty good. Then steering open, full throttle, and then I'm getting the curb on the right side. Just stay with the left wheels on the curb. I guess the track limit is almost the same as the exit of the chicane before, and then we stay on the right, shorten the distance, then looking at the 50 board on the right side as a braking reference. So putting the car on the right, 50 board, going on the brake, dropping to third for this one. Yeah, I'm dropping to third. So as you can see, on the brake, then when I'm seeing that I'm getting closer of the corner, I don't really have a reference as a turning point, but yeah, it comes pretty naturally, I would say, because as you can see the tire marks, or you can see the racing line on the track, so it gives you pretty much the indication of when you should be supposed to turn in. But as you can see, then I'm just turning in when you see that the white line goes to the left to follow the line, to follow the track actually. So as you can see, when I'm turning in, just starting to release the brake, need to carry the momentum through this corner as well, so you don't really have to stay with a long brake through the corner. You really have to release the brake quickly and go back on power as well really quickly. So once again, on the brake, 60% or so of braking, and then when I'm really getting into the corner, I'm releasing the brake quite suddenly, so then it really moves the weight at the front of the car, and then it gives me the rotation at the same time. And then as you can see, on the apex, going on power, I'm not taking the curb actually on the inside because sometimes it almost makes the car with too much rotation. So yeah, sometimes I just prefer to stay away from the curb. Like pretty much like T1, sometimes it's better to avoid the curb because it helps you to make it more consistent. Sometimes you can really nail the line with the curb, and sometimes it can just feel like the car is almost rotating too much. So yeah, so I guess I'm just getting a bit of curbing, maybe just the edge, or maybe I'm just riding the white line. Yeah, I'm just riding the white line. So yeah, then just going on power, trying to make sure I'm not going too wide on the exit of this one. Just stay with the left wheels on the curb. This should be the track limit, because then if you go with the four wheels off the curb, you will get the off track, and then I'm going quickly to the left, trying to shorten the distance, almost clipping the curb on the left side, and then we head into Acqua Minerale. So just looking at the 50 on the left, and then when I'm getting past the 50, going on the brake, trying to be smooth on the brake, because if you are not smooth enough, you have a chance to first lose the rear of the car. Then if you are going too aggressively on the brake, you will just go straight and have no rotation. So that's why it's very important to, even if you apply the brake smoothly, and same when you release the brake smoothly. That's the main thing there. You really have to keep the balance. So Acqua Minerale, it's the main target. So as you can see, getting past the 50 pot, then going on the brake, trying to make sure I can really be smooth on the brake. As you can see, many adjustments, even if I said that you have to be smooth, but you have to be smooth in the fact that you have to make sure you're not going like 0 to 60 to then straight away 20. As you can see, I'm doing many adjustments, but it's not so big adjustment. Like it's most of the time it's about 20% or something. Like as you can see, 40, then I'm dropping to 10, around 10. Then as you can see, I'm back to 20, then I'm going up to 30. So it's mainly, I'm just trying to make few adjustments to make sure I can really stay on the track limit, and at the same time with the feeling of the balance, you can just manage a bit the brakes, I would say. But yeah, once again, 50 on the brakes, trying to make sure I can find the rotation, keep the car balanced. As you can see, I'm not making so many corrections on the steerings, except when I arrive on the curbing. But yeah, from the beginning, the beginning when you arrive on this curbing is the most important moment of the Aqua Mineral, I would say, because then if you compromise this one, then you will most likely compromise as well what comes after. So yeah, very important to keep the car stable on the very beginning, so then you can it makes it more simple for the rest of Aqua Minerale. So once again on the brake, just getting a bit of curbing on the right side, but you have to make sure you're not too greedy because you can get an easy off track and maybe slow down, but for sure you can get the off track. And then I just look at the curb on the left side, so then it gives me the a better line to leave this sector. So as you can see, then running the curb, and as you can see, it gives you pretty much the turning in for this one. So pretty good to follow the curb actually and ride the curb when you are into Aqua Minerale. As you can see, it's only about the brakes into this part as well. I'm never touching the throttle. And then once again, when the car is straight, apply the brake. It's pretty much like the second chicane when the car is back straight for maybe half a second. This is really the time when you have to be really on point and go hard on the brake to really slow down again the car. As you can see, hard on the brake, and then when I'm turning in, releasing the brake quickly to really find the rotation. I stay with third. I don't think second is the way to go. For me, third feels the most natural for the gears. And then as you can see, cutting a bit of curbing on the right hand side, but I just prefer to avoid the sausage, which makes sense because then it makes the car bounce quite a lot. So yeah, and then it puts you out of the track on the exit. So yeah, just prefer to stay with third. And then as you can see, going on power when I'm really getting into the corner, and then it's just flat out on the exit. Just make sure you can stay with the right wheels on the red and white curbing, otherwise you will get the off track if you don't do that. Then we approach the Variante Alta, I believe. So then for this chicane, I'm looking at the 50, but I'm also looking at, you have the tarmac gets bright or something, like maybe between 50 and 55 meters before the corner. The it gets brighter. I don't know if you can see it on the lap guide, but like if I show you this, maybe you should be able to see it. And that's what I'm looking at as a braking reference when I'm getting close of this thing. I'm really going on the brake, so it must be like maybe 70 between. Yeah, I think I'm braking around 70 meters to be honest, or 65. So then I can make sure that I'm not overshooting the entry of the chicane, which is very important, because then if you compromise the entry, then I mean if you compromise the exit of the chicane, this is what is going to hurt you the most for the lap time. So yeah, braking at 70, I would say between 65 and 70, we will say. And then going heavy on the brake to carry straight, so you can apply quite a lot of braking, very important. But then when you're really getting close of the chicane, you really have to quickly release the brake. So as you can see, releasing the brake quickly when I'm getting before the first curb of the chicane, I'm almost going fully off the brake. So once again, dropping to second, releasing the brake, getting half of the sausage, because then if you get more than that, you will get the off track or the slowdown. So yeah, very important to not being too greedy for this one. Then as you can see, just going off the brake, just putting a tiny bit of braking, but I'm not even sure it has been applied to the car. So when I'm getting close of the curb, basically this one, it's the from this curbing, then I don't know to go anymore on the brake because I did slow down the car enough. So what, as you can see, then just staying off the brake, and then when I'm just before I'm approaching, just before I'm putting the wheels on the curbs, then I just go on power. So as you can see, just before going on the curb, yeah, this is the better camera. As you can see, just before going on the curb and the sausage, just going on power to find the momentum and find as well a bit of rotation out of that. Then getting pretty much the same amount of curbing, and then as you can see, just trying to open the steering quickly on the exit, and then just stay with the left wheels on the curbing as the track limits, pretty much the same track limits all around the track. So yeah, nothing too bad to understand with the track limits. Then we move on the last two corners, or last three corners of the track, putting a car on the left side, and then I will dive into the into this corner actually to prepare the next two left ones. So main target for this one is to race with the car straight, so that's why you put the car on the very left, and then you try to bring the car to put the car as straight as you can. And then when you approach the 100, I'm braking at the 100, just go EV on the brake, just try to really slow down the car as much as you can while the car is straight. As you can see, 90%, so EV braking zone almost hitting the 100. But then when I'm really getting close to get into the corner, I need to release the brake to find the rotation, dropping to second, getting all of the track, using all of the track on the inside. So as you can see, I'm not leaving any bit of the curb on the left side. And they need to find the momentum quickly as well on the exit. So as you can see, I'm really going aggressive on the throttle. I'm almost going on off actually. It's almost on off to be fair. Then it gives me the momentum. So then need to move to the right. I will use all of the curbing on the right side, staying with the left wheels on the curb, very important. That's the track limits around the track. And then as you can see, just before, actually there is something on the curb like which feels a bit different. Like the curb feels bigger right there, like because after that it feels like it gets flattened or something like that. It's a bit different. So what I'm doing is that I'm really trying to like leave the curb just before the curb gets different. I don't know, it's pretty tough to understand like that because you cannot really see that. So yeah, pretty tough to explain. But actually what you can do is just to follow pretty much like the left hand there before Acqua Minerale. You can just follow the racing line. Actually you can see on the track, like it's pretty much what I'm following. Actually I'm not doing anything fancy to be honest. So yeah, you can just follow actually the racing line. It works really nice. As you can see, just trying to not enter too early because I really want to have a straight exit. So just make sure you're not entering too early the corner because then you have the very long straight. So if you compromise a bit the entry, then you will lose quite a lot of time through the straight. So yeah, just make sure you're not entering too early. So once again on the curb, braking a tiny bit before entering into the corner. I'm just tapping a little bit the brake, and then as you can see, just playing a bit with the throttle into the corner when I'm getting on the curb, going on power to find the rotation. As you can see, I'm getting the curbing on the inside. This gives you a bit of rotation, but don't go too deep into the curb because then you can get the off track. So yeah, just make sure you can keep a bit of a margin from the grass. I would say maybe use half of the green stuff, but don't do much more than that because then you will get the off track. And then main target is to straighten the wheel as early as you can when you are going off the curb just before. And then as you can see, just flat out, you stay with the left wheels on the curb, and then it's just a run to the start finish line. Alright guys, we're done for today. That was the week 6 of the Falcon Sportscar series using the Porsche around Imola. I hope you learned from this lap guide. Of course, that's the main target when we are making those kind of videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Coach Live Academy channel and join the Discord server if you have any questions about the work we are making. And I see you next week for the week 7. Bye bye.